Hey guys, Matt here, Common Family Survival. I hope you're having a great day. Alright, we're back out in it again. As you can see, I'm not on foot this time. This little adventure is going to be a little different. We are doing an ATV camping adventure. So, the property I'm on right now was wooded probably about, I would say 35 years ago. And it has recovered quite well. I mean, it is a beautiful area. There's a lot of old logging roads from that. It's a lot of ATV trails here and there, and I'm fortunate enough to have access to this property. And I'm really excited about today's trip because I get to try my new shelter and sleep system. That's right, I finally got my Warbonnet, hammock, and tarp in, and I'm really looking forward to doing that today. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. First time putting it up might take me a little while, but I am very excited about it. I don't know if you can tell or not. Yeah, just got off here, been riding for a while, looking for some areas, got off the bike, started heating up already. I had to shade a layer. It's supposed to get hot today. It's actually supposed to get up to close to 80 degrees. I don't know if it will hit that or not. And then I think tonight's supposed to get down into 60, I think is a low. And then I think we might have some bad weather coming in. So it's a good night to test a new system. All right, so I think I found a good spot here. I'm either gonna go from that tree to that tree, or that tree to that tree, or that tree. It's a little messed up. Okay, so show you what I got going on so far. This is the Warbonnet XLC Blackbird hammock, and this is the double layered one. So it does the heavy duty version. It has 2 layers instead of 1. You can actually slide a sleeping pad in there for colder temperatures. And also that double layer is nice for the simple fact that single layered hammocks of this type of material, like the one Tigris and things like that, you can actually get bit through that from mosquitoes or deer flies, horse flies, stuff like that, black flies. They will eat you alive. So that it's almost a necessity here in the woods in Ohio to be able to prevent that. Do have the screen mesh on here. It has tie outs on both sides. I don't know if you can see that over there, on both sides. And what that tie out does is pulls this out away from your face, but it also gives you, let's see if you can see it or not, a shelf over here that you can actually set gear in that's separate. But what's really unique about this is bug net does come completely off. There are accessory tops you can put on this. It has a winter accessory top that goes over across the whole top of this. It is more the same material that the hammock's made out of, and it has vents. Ooh, bug. And it helps out, you know, with the winter heat and everything else. Let's see here. Another thing that's unique about this type of hammock is you have extra material here on the sides. It's hard to kind of show you guys and everything, but I don't know if you can be able to tell or not. But this extra material gives you like a foot box, and you can actually lay flat in this hammock or sleep on your side. If you're a side sleeper, if you sleep on your back, you know, this is the way to go. It does look a little lopsided, but when setting this up, you want your foot end to be up higher than the back end. Just the way it is. And they also recommend whenever setting it up, you use this as a judge. As you can see, pretty close, at least close enough for me. The buckle system is a nice strap system, real easy, real quick. Like I said, not bad at all. It does have a guy line. It's a Dynaweave guy line that does run on the inside of this, and at any time you can pretty much unclip these pullouts Flip this off and you have an open top hammock, which is really nice too. The other side here, it does have a pass-through stuff sack, and you can just, like I said, just pull that off to the side up here. Same buckling system there. Nice Dynaweave material here. Yeah, so far, first impressions, really happy with it, really love it. Alright, so after all that work, I have to abandon this spot and move over to this spot. No big deal, just kind of sucked. There just wasn't enough room in between that tree and that tree for the tarp. So, which I'm really shocked. Pretty sure it's 11-foot hammock and that's 11-foot tarp. How can that fit and not that? I don't know. Alright guys, there is this Superfly. So, as you can see, took a little bit. Set up, you know, first time setting it up, had a lot of little things to attach, add on. I bought a lot of little add-ons, accessories, I guess you could say. Took a little bit of time. What I really like about this tarp is it's got a couple nice features. Number one, it has these poles. I don't know if you see with the glare. The poles, those, you know, you see, widen the footprint of it. You know, pull it out. There's panel pulls on both sides that pull it out and keep it away from you. And then on the front of it, on both sides, you have these flap doors that you can cinch down. And right now, I'm not going to worry about cinching them down. But show you, they do make a difference and do pull out. I don't have them real tight, and I could probably make them a little tighter, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. But as you can see, gives you your nice little cocoon in there. I mean, everything. You got a lot of room. So, it is nice. But this side, I'm probably going to buckle down, and the other side's going to be the side that I get in. But I'm not going to really worry about, give you a view of the other side. I'm not really going to worry about really getting carried away with cinching it down. I like to call this storm mode, a hunker down mode. Mainly for the simple fact that I'm going to go ahead and probably tie out the front, you know, the front here, and give it a canopy. And then tonight, whenever I go to finally call it quits, I'll hunker it down. Or if the storms start, I mean, because we are supposed to have thunderstorms, so it's a good time to test it. But yeah, and like I said, there was a lot of little things, you know, that it didn't really come with directions. Warbonnet does have videos on YouTube on how to set up and how to do everything. But, you know, really when it comes down to it, you got to kind of figure things out on your own for your particular situation. Then I went through and added a lot of little things that I like this right here. I got their extra Dynaweave. And then got some of these. I don't even know what they're called. I know they sell a titanium version of these. I think they sell a regular one too. I think they call them Loop Aliens. But those things are nice. I think you can buy these. I don't even know what brand that is. It's Shine Trip or Sign. I don't even know. But yeah, them are the cat's meow when it comes to setting up stakes, you know. But got titanium stakes that you can purchase off Amazon. It's way cheaper than buying them anywhere else. Get these off Amazon for pennies on the dollar, you know, clips. But that's what took a lot of the time, was getting these all set up and get, you know, on every one of the pulls. But now that I have them all set up, yeah, it makes setting up the tarp 10 times faster. No different than putting that snake skin on for the first time. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt. What really got me with that one was this clip here. This is an add-on clip, one of theirs. They call it a tarp tip, or no, tarp tick, sorry. But it is titanium, and it's super light, but it's super fast when it comes. I mean, you just uncinch it right there, it just unhooks. But that was what gave me so much problem setting it up, is because there was no weight to it, and I needed a little bit of weight to slide down into that tarp skin. And I really do like them tarp skins. The tarp skin is same material, that super lightweight material. It's so nylon, I think it is, you know, pretty much almost the same material as the tarp itself. What do you think about that camo? I absolutely love this camo. This is why I actually had to wait, is because this is a custom, I think they call this bushwhack. This is bushwhack camo, and it was on back order, and that's why it took me so long to get it, and I'm more than happy. It blends right in with the ground. I mean, honestly, I get about 20 feet back, even though the overgrowth and everything's green, that just blends right in. I really like it, and that's why I like a lot of my stuff. I don't like bright colors, you know. I like stuff that blends in if I ever need to, whether it be hunting, survival, bugging out, or anything like that. That's my outlook on it. It's, you know, just the way I view things. All right, here's our setup. So porch mode worked out. I just tied off to some other trees. I left the stakes in the ground, and I left the hardware just laying there too. So that way, if I got to hurry up and bunker this down, I will. It'll be real quick, easy, and fast. And I don't know. This worked out really well. I'll show you what. Them panel poles, if you can see it or not. This is the, right here's the flaps. And I just put a little carbiner around there, the hooks on both sides. And if I wanted to, I could actually tighten them up. I left them hooked up, you know, the panel pull out poles. I left them hooked up, and I could actually tighten them up a little bit, and it would raise that up in kind of centered, which is kind of an unexpected surprise. I didn't think that I could do that, but kind of makes it nice that I can leave them hooked up, not really worried about it. But yeah, this is going to be home for tonight. All right, now it took forever, pretty much set this up twice, but yeah, that's to be expected with brand new stuff. Now I got to be honest, that panel pulls, they are nice. They are nice. Are they what I expected? No. Maybe you need to really wrench on them to really open it up. You probably do, and it'd probably even be better in really windy conditions and maybe like really bad weather conditions, maybe in the wintertime or something. But I don't really think, you know, I'd be missing them if I didn't have them. All right, so I'm going ahead and I need to get camp set up, because pretty much I only have night taken care of. It is almost lunchtime. Took me quite a while to get this set up. Like I said, something new, learning curve, adding new things to it, and I'll reap the benefits of that in future adventures. But this time here, I pretty much had to take a hit on it. So yeah, I got to get to cracking. I need to get some lunch in me. All right, kind of got everything unloaded and got everything straightened around, and I am sitting underneath the tarp because the sun has come out. It is definitely getting a lot warmer. We're up into the 70 degrees, so it is definitely getting warm. I'm not going to worry about getting a fire pit ready just yet. Like I said, it's only noon. I'm starving right now. I need to get something to eat, and I'm planning on cooking on the fire for dinner, but probably for, I don't know, probably for breakfast and lunch right now, maybe snack later, I don't know. I'm just going to use gas stove, burner. But I'm hoping, I've seen a few rocks around here, and I'm hoping I can get a nice little fire pit built up for lunch. I got the Pathfinder cook kit again, the stainless steel. You know, having the four-wheeler kind of opens up the more possibilities. Sorry, I'm talking while I'm doing stuff. I gotta get out of that habit. But opens up more possibilities, you know, because I'm not restricted to weight. I have brought a few extra things. You'll notice a big bag with me. I just got that strapped on the back of the bike. But yeah, just for gear testing, like I did the last time and stuff. Just it's not this time. I'm not on my back. This trip, in all honesty, wasn't supposed to be an ATV adventure. I planned on doing this later into the year, but not this early into the year. Just this time of the year, you know, my other spots I really wanted to go to is water crossings. And right now the creeks and streams are all super high. This has been about the first nice day we've had in probably a week. It has been raining pretty much nonstop. And so on top of just coming out of winter and everything, the water levels are really high. You know, I thought about doing, you know, an on the shore edge more or less, you know, a kayaking adventure. The waters are too cold still. It's going to hit 70, and tonight drop down to 60. But honestly, that's about the warmest it's been here so far. So I didn't really want to go through that. And not to mention, I don't mind doing kayak canoe by myself, but when the waters are that high, it's dangerous, you know, especially, and I'm not talking about the rivers, you know, what you're probably thinking. I'm talking about backwood creeks that I like to go down and stuff, and they're not maintained. You know, a lot of people don't go down them. A lot of people don't know about them. They are on a map. It's just people don't think of it. And so you'll come up to a lot of snags, a lot of trees down, and you can come around the bend and get clotheslined by a tree. I've had it happen. It's not good to do that type of stuff by yourself, and you know, there is a level of I got to be responsible here, you know. I got to come home to my family. They'd kill me if I killed myself. Alright, so I think for lunch we are going to have another Mountain House meal. And this is pasta Primavera. Sounds so fancy. It's got zucchini, cauliflower, broccoli, red and yellow peppers, green peas, and spiral macaroni in a Parmesan cheese sauce. We'll see. We'll see. That fire rod's something else. I'll tell you what, I need to look at it. Man, the striker, that striker is just, it's all tangled up. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that striker. Seems like it does a good job. If you look, it's like only one way gives it a really good strike. But I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, come on, zoom. Will you zoom? It ain't gonna zoom. One side is kind of rounded, and one side, see, ow, man, busted myself in the knuckle. As you see, I already got skinned up a little bit ago. Look at that. Nothing. Flip it around. Boom. Nothing. Why would you make a striker like that? I don't understand that. Alright. Go ahead and open this up. Man, just got a whiff of something. I hope it ain't this. Something smells foul. Didn't come out of my butt. I don't know what it was. Maybe it might have been this. I think it's the broccoli. It's awful colorful. Man, there just ain't no meat in it. That's the only thing that sucks. Is it a vegetarian meal? I don't know. It says it's got spiral macaroni. I see the macaroni in it. I don't know. The noodles are going to save it, I think. We'll see. We will see. I think I will make some coffee, though. I think I will. A little shot of some coffee might do me some good. This ain't gonna hurt nothing. So, because I'm gonna have to wait 15 minutes for this thing to get ready, so I might as well make me some coffee. Have it ready to go. But yeah. Tea bags in there too. I just keep them in there like I told you the last time, so that way it don't hurt nothing. Just save space. I bring like 3 tea bags in case in the morning or at night I don't want something so strong, or just something a little lighter. All right, I think she's a boiling. Let's check her out. Yep, we got a good boil. All right, we'll set this down. Get this out. Try not to burn the crap out of ourselves. Oh, no. That's not hot. Dump her in. Ooh, that's warm. It's warm. Alright, we'll get this on there. We'll get our coffee going. Take the camp rag. It says give it a good stir. Wait 4 minutes. And that's something else I need to address. I had someone make a comment about Camp Rag. They're not a sponsor. I just want to say that right now. This channel has 0 sponsors. We are not sponsored. We're not funded in any way, shape, or form. So I just want to make that clear. Some people tend to want to pull that trigger and say, oh, you were bought and paid for to promote that. No, that's not true. This is one of them, like I said in the video, just one of them items that I like, I use. You're gonna see it a lot. No, they're not paying me to say that. And that's the biggest thing. I gotta be honest with you. Those are items. It's items like that I do want to show you guys. I do want to, things that I actually do use. Things that actually you will see me use. Things I like. Things I'll stand behind and say, hey, this is one of my favorite things. Yeah, my preferences are going to be different than everybody else's, but, it is what it is. Moving forward on the gear reviews and stuff like that throughout this year, there's going to be quite a few items where I'm going to have to be honest about when it comes to, buyer beware, I guess you could say. Things that I think have potential, I try them out, and I find things that don't, you know, just too many cons with the product. Yeah, I have one of those in my mind right now, and that's kind of why I guess I'm thinking about it. I'm actually going to be testing a little bit more this weekend while I'm doing this. Yeah, that review will be coming out soon. And that's something else. So, from time to time, as you're watching a video of the adventures and stuff, you might see a product that you notice that I don't say anything about. You might see it off to the side. You might see. I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't. I want to clarify that right now. If if it's off the side or I'm not talking about it, it's not because I'm trying to hide it. It's just because it's not part of the adventure, in my opinion. It's something off to the side. It's a gear test item. It's something that's I'm not even really using other than just testing or, trial runs of stuff. Things like that. I want to make that clear, Which also brings up, you are going to probably see this quite a bit. This is the ammo case. You will really see this quite a few times. That is my camera gear, my filming gear, stuff that I need to keep protected from the elements. Yeah, spare batteries, cables, just stuff that is not kind, for the time being. That's what I'm using, and that's what I'm going to use. Alright, here we go, some coffee. It's not as dark as I thought it would be. Nice, good cup. Alright. That'll get me by. Super freaking hot. That's going to be a while. Alright, so everything's way too hot to eat and drink right now. It's gonna take a while, but while it's doing that, I think I'm going to take a little walk around and see if I can find any wild edibles, maybe. Just see what I can come up on. Never know what you can find. I highly doubt I can find any mushrooms that I want to eat, to be honest with you. I think I missed my window of opportunity. It's pretty... I highly doubt there's any left. So I got skunked this year on morel mushrooms. It's a big fat 0 for me this year, which sucks. But I know one of these times I will make it out here in time to catch some May apples. And it's supposed to be really good. I don't know if anybody's familiar with May apples or not, but they're supposed to be really good. This area has an abundance of them. But I guess they're a very delicate fruit. The animals gobble them up as soon as they're ripe. And yeah, they're just one of them things that don't normally... They don't keep well, they don't transport well, that's why you never see them. One thing I'd love to be able to find is some wild ramps, but I know not far from here, ramps do grow. But I ain't gonna be able to get there today. It would be nice to find them, because I got me a nice T-bone steak, and I'm gonna be cooking up tonight for dinner. And some ramps would, some fried ramps probably go pretty good with that. Honestly, I'm not really expecting to find anything. I'm just seeing what's about. I mean, The undergrowth is just now starting to come alive. Don't get me wrong, there is stuff, but stuff that I'm familiar enough with to trust myself to try and eat it. Because that's one thing with wild edibles, you gotta be careful. You can put a hurting on yourself real quick. Alright, this is what I'm talking about. This is a mayapple plant. And this, look at that. It's got a flower. So they're flowering right now, but they're not coming to a fruit just yet. So, not long. I'm not seeing, that's actually the first flower. I mean, they're everywhere. But that is the first flower that I've seen. They're just everywhere out here. Like I was saying, that's the first flower I've seen on. I know there's a couple. So it's not far from coming to fruit. There's quite a few that have flowers on them. They got a beautiful flower. I've never actually never got an opportunity to see the flower on them. I think it might be still a little too early for me to find much. I mean, I've seen some wild garlic, but yeah, it wasn't that big. I might get lucky enough this time and be able to find enough rocks to make a pretty decent little fire pit. They're spread out everywhere. Alright, so that was pretty much a strikeout on the wild edibles. Nice little walk. Wood smells beautiful. Here's thinking it's the dogwood trees are in bloom right now. The smell it's putting off throughout the woods is just, it's beautiful. It's just got a beautiful aroma. Every time the wind blows, you get that fragrance. It just, it's outstanding. Alright, so my coffee cooled off. Nothing got it. My food feels like it cooled off a little bit. Enough that I can eat it at least now. But, drum roll please, what's it look like? It don't look too bad. Look at that. Don't look too bad. A lot. I mean, this did say 2.5 servings, but yeah. I mean, it's pasta, so honestly don't know if I'll be able to eat all of it. That's quite a bit of pasta. Actually, not bad. The vegetables rehydrated pretty good. I mean, there's peas, carrots, zucchini. It's not bad at all. It's got a good taste. It's got a nice creamy kind of cheese sauce with it. Yeah. Needs a little salt though. Alright, so I'm going to start wandering around, and I've seen quite a few rocks I can use. They're not real big rocks, but I should be able to gather them up and make a decent little fire pit. You know, the whole object of this is not to keep warm. I don't think I'm going to get very cold at all. We're mid-70s right now. It's pretty hot. You notice I even shedded off my vest that I wear all the time. It's getting freaking stinking hot, and I'm glad I'm in the shade. I'm so glad I'm in the shade. Alright, so check this out. While I'm out looking for the rocks and gathering them up and everything, I find this. This part was just barely sticking out of the ground. This is all the way down in the ground. But it's an old bungee strap. But out in the middle of nowhere. The only thing I can figure is they lost it back 35 years ago when they logged this area. So yeah, just kind of funny, just what you can find out in the woods. Pot hanger, I'm gonna go ahead and pound that in. I'm using that again. Like I said, it's one of my favorite piece of gears. It's nice to use, nice to have. And yep, let's get that put in now. Hatchet I brought along for this little trip is the Straight. I got this in a box and I'm not sure what. I've never used it before and I thought I'll give it a shot. It does a pretty good job. It's, you know, I want to say plastic handle, plastic head, but it's solid. It's got a nice hammer strike on that end. Nice blade and edge. Nice contour. What I don't like about it, the model over is SCX2G. I don't know if that matters or not, but what I don't like about it does a great job chopping, fits good in the hand. I think the handle even glows in the dark. I'm not even sure. To use the hammer part of it, you have to, the sheath that comes with is kind of like a plastic Kydexy type sheath. But when you put this in the sheath, excuse me, look at that. You can't use the hammer part of it or you're going to bust up the sheath. You're going to tear it up. So the only way to use the hammer function of this is without the sheath on. I don't like that. I don't like, you know, the chances of something bad happening, especially out in the outdoors, is too great. I mean, that's, I don't know. I get it. It would have been better if they could have gave, you know, just a smaller sheath part that you put that on separate and still be able to use that and leave that open. So, yeah, not a real good idea on how they designed that. Got the fire pit set up. I got all that. I got a little bit of kindling put together. I'm going to go ahead and get a fire going. I'm probably not going to keep feeding this fire. I honestly don't even care if it goes back out. I just kind of want to burn the pit in and maybe make some hot coals, or, you know, get some coals going for maybe later, you know, or it won't be so hard to start up a fire later whenever I go to cook. But just like last time, we tried something different starting that fire. We used that pyro putty. This time we are going to try these. This is a product from Uko. It's a Sweet Fire Strikable fire starter. Good for the planet and great for your next adventure. Made from sugarcane. So, more or less, there's 8 of these in here. Made from renewable biofuel, burns for 7 minutes each. So, it's got the striker on the side. It's more or less like a giant match head. Try and open it up here. It does come with another couple striker heads. But really, what it boils down to is all they are. Get them out. Drop everything everywhere. All they really are, when it boils down to it, is it's just a giant match. You see that? Giant match. But it's kind of like, I imagine that must be sugarcane stalk. I don't know. A sugarcane. Try and get the zoom in here. Compressed, so it's kind of like compressed sugarcane board, I guess you say, with just a giant match head top. So that's what we're going to try. We're going to try to use one of these and see if it actually, that I can get a fire started from that. Not bad. I guess they worked. To be honest with you, I don't know if you're not confident enough to just take a match out in the woods to start a fire. I wouldn't place all your bets in these, because really all it boils down to is it's one giant match, and there's no waterproof. I'll tell you right now, there is no waterproof to that whatsoever. Those get wet, they're shot. That is not no strike anywhere match head. Probably good for like emergency in your car or your truck, emergency kit, get home bag, something like that. But you definitely want to put these in a waterproof container, because the package is not waterproof. They they only come in this little thing right here, and it's not even sealed on the top. So I mean, what's that say? Okay. It says, to prolong shelf life, keep your unused fire starters in this plastic wrap. So that tells me right there that they actually like to draw moisture too. So, in a pinch, better than a match. We'll say that. Better than a match. Got about an hour, I'd say about an hour left of sunlight, and fire went ahead and burned out, but did what I wanted to do. And yeah, I'm gonna get flames going again so I can get to cooking dinner. Got a lot done. Got a lot of review videos done, and actually you'll be seeing those before you see this. So if you're a subscriber to the channel, you'll know what I'm talking about and you'll recognize the settings. But we're going to go ahead and use one of these super matches again. Did alright the last time. Might as well try it out again. Like I said, I went ahead and so I had batteries charging, so I went ahead and got some of oh, don't fall down. Went ahead and got a good pile of firewood built up. Just gathered up. I didn't process or anything. And honestly, like I said, I'm not needing this fire for warmth tonight. It's still 75 degrees and we're an hour away from dark. So this is mainly just for cooking on and ambiance, I guess you could say. It lit up again. Blinded me in the process too. So I'm just going to layer here. Oop. Try not to put it out while I'm doing it. These things didn't do too bad the last time. I ain't gonna really complain about how it did. But in all honesty, it's not something I would want to solely rely on. Let's see here. I wouldn't want to rely just on these. This is something that definitely, in my mind, could fail very easily on you, and you wouldn't. I don't know. I've been in a few situations where pretty much out of luck when it came to fire when you needed it, and don't ever really care to get back in that situation. I mean, this situation here, even if I couldn't get a fire going, I have my burner. And 9 times out of 10, I like having a burner just for that simple fact. You know, I was actually kind of worried about coming out here because it's been raining so much so lately. I was worried that any wood that I could find would be, you know, too wet, too damp to get a fire going. Tried finding some sizable logs, dead standing timbers, or small trees, and honestly, I had a hard time finding it. This is a lot of smaller stuff that's down. Holy crap! You hear those crows? There's like a giant flock of them over in the trees over there, and they are freaking loud. You gotta be able to hear it. You guys better be glad I ain't got a 22, because I can shoot you guys. I always heard crow tastes like chicken. Yeah, that fire is good and hot. I can feel it. But I want to get everything kind of set up and ready. That way I'm not scrambling come dark time, you know, whenever I got to start cooking. But I'm going to do like I did last time. Like I said, the steak's different this time. This time we have a T-bone. And T-bone, and we got some more bacon. We're going to do like we did last time. I'm baking it up and for a snack, and then slowly cook that. Oh man, that's getting hot. Slowly cook that. Or I'm sitting a little bit too close to it. Now I did have a question on my last adventure. I guess I didn't show this good enough. What this was? A pocket box. It's got the brand right there, but one side is camouflage, one side is bright signal orange. It's like a double layer. It's got grommets on the side. It's one of my, it's just one of those nice things to have handy. Like I said, I should have used that actually whenever I got to back up. My knees are on fire, but it's one of those nice things to have handy. That's a hot fire. Oh man. When like what I'm doing right now, cooking, I got it down. It's a clean surface that I can actually lay stuff on. You know, I ain't got to worry about it too much. If I was kneeling down on the ground or sitting down on the ground, I should have used that. Actually, would have saved me, you know, from my knees and my butt getting damp or dirty. It makes for a real quick, easy seat, real fast. Something you just sit down and no problem. If you notice, I've been itching a lot and everything. I found a tick on my hand a little bit ago, and that wouldn't worry so much. You know, it's to be expected right now. It's definitely tick season. What bothered me is it was the larva form of the tick, and the larva form of them suckers are like the size of a needle head or eye of a needle. No joke. That I don't like. I hate them when they're that small. Oh crap. Got a little bit of fire in there. That thing ain't fireproof, that's for sure. Burn a little hole in there. But like I said, it ended up getting, you know, I barely felt it on me. I was writing something down and felt it on my hand. And I got to look and I thought it was just a little bug, and I went like that, you know, just a little spider or something, nothing real big. And when it wouldn't come off, I got to looking real close, and yeah, it was a deer tick. I think a deer tick. It was so small I couldn't really tell, but it did have that look. So every little, I'm just, you know, kind of give you the heebie-jeebies. When I get home tomorrow, I'm going to have to definitely do a thorough inspection. Every nook and cranny. Because like I said, the big ones, it's no big deal. You can spot them pretty easily. Especially me. I'm pretty white. It stands out pretty good. Some little suckers, yeah. Them ones hide pretty good. Like I said, I do believe that's what gave my, my family member Lyme's disease was one of them little suckers. And that's another thing too. I had somebody message me about using the flask for cooking oil, and they really liked that idea and everything else. And another thing I like about it, and I failed to mention this in my last video, is when you're doing this kind of nesting cup system, like when you got the smaller pot and the bigger pot and all that, if you look, it kind of goes right with the contour of it, and it fits right in there. So it's just one less item taking up space in the pack. It works really, really well, and I highly recommend. Bad thing about it is freaking flasks are expensive. I was actually looking, it's like, all right, so how much is a decent flask? Because that flask there is, what is going on? Snagging on something. That flask there is not good quality at all. I mean, honestly, the outside of it, great. The lid of it sucks. This is a plastic lid on a stainless steel body, or I don't even know if it's stainless steel, but yeah, it's garbage. It's not a quality item. It was one of the more letdown items from a past battle box, and honestly, that was back whenever they were still doing theme boxes, and I don't even know what theme that was. I can't even really remember, but yeah. All right, so the fire is burnt down here pretty good. Let's get these. Nothing beats a good pair of heavy-duty leather gloves when it comes to messing with fire and cooking and stuff like that. These are a really nice, decent pair of gloves that Firebox from Firebuck Stove. It's their brand. Really nice. Heavy duty. I mean, really heavy duty. Do you hear that? And now, the hoot owl. The hoot owl hooting. Alright, we got that going and getting it close to ready. I need. That's a Who Cooks For You. If you don't know what that is, that's what it sounds like when a hoot owl is calling like this. Sounds like that's what it sounds like he's saying. Who cooks for you? Normally you can do that and they'll hoot back, but he's not hooting back. He's not very sociable. Man, them crows are something else right now. Holy cow. They are wanting to be heard. Alright, we are going to get this steak on. Need to get it all prepped up. Get that on there and get it going. Whew. While that's going, I'm gonna start cooking up me some bacon. Just let that slow cook on there. I'm not sure. Alright, let's get that in there. There we go. Sizzle, sizzle. Probably only gonna make just a couple pieces. Well, there's bacon. Make a couple pieces up, so kind of a snack, tie me over until steaks are ready, like I did the last time. Nothing really different, just let's save the rest of it for in the morning. Trust me, guys, every time I have one of these adventures, it ain't gonna be bacon and steak every time, which honestly, who can complain about bacon and steak? Alright. I had some other things planned for today, and yeah, sometimes you just never know. Things don't work out the way you want, and you gotta adapt. I want that steak to have a slow cook on it. I want the smoke flavor to get in there. Man, them crows are loud. Holy cow. I think they're really upset down here. You guys better be glad I ain't got a 22. I'd be eating crow. Literally. Alright. Still cooking away. But I think I just got snorted at by a deer down the trail a little ways down that way. Alright, we're going to attempt. We'll try this. Attempt to flip it over. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Alright. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just grab it up, flip it over, good to go. It's actually a lot lighter in the camera than what it really is out here. It's getting dark pretty quick. Usually right about now, yeah, let's say sundown should be right about now. This reminds me a lot of growing up. Growing up, I was pretty fortunate as a kid to have a group of real close friends that lived really close by. We all lived, pretty much on the same roads. And from the age of, I don't even know, 11, 12, we were riding four-wheels and being country kids, living out in the country. You grew up in a different time. It was a totally different time. But we were allowed to use those four-wheelers as a means of transportation to get back and forth to each other, doing odd jobs in the summertime. Every one of us had a four-wheeler. We kind of had our own. There was 5 of us all together. We kind of had our own little four-wheeler posse, I guess you could say. But those were some of the greatest memories I can remember. Like I said, it was a totally different time back then. Things we did back then, I don't really think you can be allowed to do nowadays. you know, we would go out on the four-wheelers and we would ride all day and then camp, you know, pretty much. I mean, when I say camp, we were cowboy camping, you know. We didn't have a tent. We didn't even have sleeping bags. We'd pull up, make a little fire ring, make a fire. 9 times out of 10, whatever we could snag out of our parents' refrigerator or freezer that they wouldn't miss, that's what we were cooking. I don't know how many times we tried cooking bacon on a stick or hamburger patty balls on the end of a stick. Yeah, we had a blast. We had a lot of fond memories. Alright, I think the bacon's pretty much good and done. Ooh, it's hot. Whew. That is not cold at all. Oh, that's good bacon. Man, it looks so much brighter in the camera than what it really is out here. It's actually pretty dark in this undercover. It's just kind of funny how much the camera actually makes it brighter. But I went ahead, I got the steak off there. I got it resting in my pan right now. Just letting it rest, cooling off so I can actually eat it. Oh, that bacon was good. I love bacon. But I went ahead and loaded up the fire some more. Not for any heat or anything, but if anything, just keep the bugs down a little bit and kind of... you gotta have a campfire when you camp, right? Funny little memory popped into my head after I was reminiscing, talking about my childhood and everything on the four-wheelers, and I can't believe I almost forgot about it, but scary but funny story. And I'm not going to say any names or anything, but well, I'll just tell you a story. And I can honestly say none of our parents know this story. Here I am, 41 years old. And, yeah. You know, we were really young. We were probably 12, 13, 14 years old, somewhere around there, maybe even 15. And it was during those days that we would do four-wheel riding, camping and everything. And we get, like I said, we go riding all day and then we camp at night and stuff. And funny thing happened one night. We riding around throughout the day and kind of diminished our supply of water from the day, and we needed to refill our water. But it was after dark, so we didn't want to go back home, wake up our parents, make them upset, you know, which we should have just did. We should have just went home, said we need water, and went back, you know. And instead, I don't know whose idea it was, but we all knew of the spring. We've seen it hundreds of times. Out on a back dirt road, there's a pipe. It's an old spring. It looked like there used to be an old spring house there, because there's old sandstone walls coming out of the side of a hill, you know what I mean? And it's got a pipe that comes out, and it's a natural artesian spring with water flowing out of it. And it's a spring. Should be clean. Should be fresh. So we rode down there, and filled up all our water bottles and everything and headed on back to camp. And that's what we drank for, the remainder of the night. Well, wasn't long into after getting back from camp and everything. We're drinking this water and everything, and the rest of the night, honestly, is a little bit fuzzy. I don't know exactly what happened, but I can honestly say that we were, for lack of better terms, I really don't know the technical terms for it. We were out of our minds. Hallucinating, laughing uncontrollably, probably the closest thing you could ever imagine to probably like a LSD acid high. And I really believe it wasn't long after that, like I said, and it wasn't just one of us, it wasn't just two of us, it was all of us. And there was no drugs or alcohol involved. We were just young kids. We were drinking water. It wasn't years later that, we were scared, felt like crap the next day. We weren't right for days after that. We were sick. But it wasn't until years later, talking about it amongst us and everything, that we kind of figured out that on top of that hill, there's a field. And it's a crop land field and everything. And I do believe that they spray that field with pesticides, or fertilizer and pesticides. So that water was probably contaminated. Like, we poisoned the crap out of ourselves, I think, to the point where we were hallucinating and everything else. Probably lucky we didn't die. Mom, Dad, sorry I didn't tell you about this back then, but honestly, we were young kids and didn't know better. But to this day, as a group of friends and everything, we look back and laugh our butts off. But at the same time, as adults, we realize how serious that was and how bad that could have been. And yeah. Alright, so enough reminiscing and time to tear into this steak. Probably could eat it right out of the pan. I drained off all the bacon grease. There's still a little bit in there, but ain't gonna hurt nothing. Oh, that smells so good. That smells yummy. Get my knife out. But I don't know if you can see it or not, but how does that look? Oh, if only there was smell-o-vision. You guys' mouths would be watering right now. I'm telling you. Tell you what, if someone's ever looking for an invention to make, smell-o-vision. If you make smell-o-vision, you're going to be a billionaire. Just a little tip. Threw some more wood on the fire. Let this burn down, and then, yeah, I'm going to probably go ahead and batten up the hatches a little bit, right up a little bit, just in case it does start to storm. I need to check the weather before I hit the hay. And yeah, it's been a pretty good day. I'm getting pretty tired though. I've been up about since 4:30 in the morning. It's almost 9:30 now. Had a pretty busy morning. The setting up the hammock and everything twice. Like I said, adding on all the little things. So far, initial impressions, I really like it. You can definitely see the quality in it. But it does fall in that category of the buy once, cry once. You know, it's not your common man price, I guess you could say. You know, in my mind, a common man price would be a snug pack hammock, a one tigress hammock. You know, in that price range and everything. You know, you got your upper echelon level. That's kind of what this is. But you know, there's nothing wrong with those other ones. Don't get me wrong. You can get by just fine, as I showed in my last adventure. I mean, I went through a 26-degree, you know, night with that, and then did absolutely fine. It's just, this has got all the bells and whistles. Does that make sense? You had your kind of your stock model. This is all your bells and whistles, you know, and be able to lay down flat and everything else, you know. For the amount of time that I have planned ahead of me in the future, it only makes sense for me to make an investment like this, to where, you know, it's super lightweight. It's, you know, adaptable to whatever situation I'm in. And that was my biggest thing, you know, reasoning for that. As, you know, for example, I think my next adventure is going to actually be an on the water adventure. You know, not on the water, but I guess say on the creek's edge, maybe. Maybe kayaking, do some fishing, camp along, you know, the bank overnight, do one of them deals. And to make that happen, because I'm not going to be using a canoe, I'm going to be using a kayak. So to make something like that happen, we're really going to have to consider, you know, a super lightweight minimalistic loadout. Not to mention I'll be taking a fishing pole, you know, some extra gear. And definitely extra clothing and things like that. Because that, you know, when you start going down that realm, it's a whole different ball game. There's a whole different set of stuff that you need. But yeah, I wanted it to kind of work out this time, but it just, timing wasn't right. Weather, you know, everything. Just, it would have been stupid for me to try. Just downright ignorant. After I got done eating my steak, I had to take the boom for a little walk down the trail a ways and pitched it down there. I'm not really worried about anything coming into camp, except for we have a pretty healthy population of skunks. Anything else I can deal with. Raccoon, possum, I don't really care about that. Fox. But skunk, that's a whole nother level there. The wilderness has definitely settled into nighttime. It is quiet, except for some weird engine noise that way. Sounds like somebody mowing. Who would be mowing at 9:30 at night in the dark? It's just funny sometimes to stop and listen. You know, especially when it's this quiet. There's nothing moving around me. You can hear the crackle of the fire beside me. But in the distance, you hear a lot of different noises. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and let that fire burn down a little bit. I'm going to get off camera and yeah, I'll get back with you once I get all snuggled up in the hammock. See you in a minute. Alright guys, so I'm all tucked away and wrapped up in the hammock. I got I don't know if I said or not, but the Snug Pack Jungle Blanket, that's what I'm using as a top covering. I don't have an undercoat on. I can feel my back's a little cool. I think I'll be alright. I don't think it's going to be too bad. It's 65 now. If anything, it's only going to drop 5 more degrees, and as it stands right now, I feel pretty comfortable. The balance between coolness on my back and warmth on my top is making me really comfortable, in all honesty.
But yeah, so far this sucker's comfortable. It's really, really nice. I think I got the shelf on the side here a little bit too overloaded. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I do, because it's wanting to push on me a little bit. I might have too much stuff in there. I got some battery banks and things like that in there, kind of pushing on it. So yeah, not just battery banks, but I got all kinds of crap in there, to be honest with you. Just stuff for easy reach. But yeah. This inside ridgeline's real nice too, because you can hang. I got the phone hanging from this inside ridgeline. I got the lantern hanging right above my head. Makes it a lot easier for you guys to see me. But yeah, so far so good. I'm liking it. And it's definitely, it looks like I'm being crowded, but I'm actually not. I mean, I got a nice little pocket here. I'm pretty much almost laying exactly flat, and the way I'm kind of sitting in here is my head's a little bit raised up, so I almost don't need a pillow or anything. I mean, it's amazing how comfortable this really is. But every time I move, though, this starts rocking. But yeah, so the fire burned down, and I think it's time for me to go to bed. It's early. It's only 10:30, but I don't know. Maybe if I have a hard time sleeping, maybe I'll watch a movie on the phone real quick or something. Fall asleep to that, but I don't know. All right, guys. Good night. I'll see you in the morning.
Morning, guys. It's about almost 5:30 in the morning. I just got up. Got some coffee going. Had to, I woke up and had to pee. Something terrible. So I pretty much bailed out of the hammock. Didn't even put my boots on. Went running over by the tree and took a leak. And I had to go something fierce. But I slept pretty good. Slept comfortably. I did get a little cold though. Halfway through the middle of the night I had to put my hoodie on. Even then my back kept getting cold. I honestly should have put the underquilt on. The top of me was fine. The jungle blanket kept me snug on the top of me. It was just my back. My back kept getting a chill on it, That was about it. But as far as the sleep actually went, oh man, you want to talk about comfortable. That was really, really comfortable. I know it probably sounds like I'm exaggerating, but no. I did. It was something else. At some point in the middle of the night, too, I was dying of thirst. So, what I did was, I actually I had water in my cup, my Pathfinder cup. I had it sat down, and I had the lid on it. But I had it sitting there, so if I needed it, I could, easily reach out and pick it up, get a drink if I needed it. Wow. Yeah. Boy, what good ideas go wrong. What ended up happening, rinse this sucker out good. What ended up happening, so, middle of the night, wake up, thirsty, dry mouth, reach out, get a hold of it, take the lid off, get about here where the water's touching my mouth, and it happened to be just a little bit of a glare from I think it was from my phone. I could see the bottom of the cup reflection as I tilted up, and I see a spider that big moving around on the bottom of the cup where yeah, more or less you're half awake, you see that. All I know is I threw the cup out, I spit the water out, not in the hammock, outside the hammock luckily. But man, that was not a pleasant wake-up call. Yeah, I know what did it. Which learning lesson? The Pathfinder cup has those slots on the sides here, so you can actually put their pot hanger in there, and you can actually hang the cup if you needed to. It's obviously a perfect access point for a freaking bug. Better yet, a tarantula. I don't know what kind of spider it was. All I know, it was a freaking big one that I almost drank. So, big enough. It is like, I don't know if I said this or not, it's like 5:30 in the morning. Sun isn't up yet. Probably it's starting to get light right now. The woods are starting to come alive, the birds are chirping, everything's waking up. It is starting to get light. Starting to be able to see throughout the woods. It didn't rain last night, and I looked at the weather, and from what I can tell, looks like the weather system changed all around. I don't think it is going to rain. There's a little chance maybe later on today that it might rain, but they're saying no rain. Which, as much as it's been raining lately, I'll take it. Alright, so coffee is done, and boy, it's still hot. Alright, so while my coffee's cooling down, still too hot to drink. Still getting light out. Still not bright enough really to move around just yet without light. So, but I think in this spare time, I'm going to go ahead and work on my adventure journal log entry for this trip. And I haven't talked about that much, but if you're wondering what that is more or less for every adventure I'm going to do a log entry, and it's just pretty much my inner thoughts, just a way for me to jot down things in my head, things that pass through my head. Yeah, sometimes it's not easy to get what's in here out of here, and I find that writing sometimes makes it a lot easier. And yeah, if you're ever interested in what the journal entry is for, go to www.commonfamilysurvival.com, and there'll be a tab on that page where it says Adventure Journal. And for every new episode, the same day that the episode releases on YouTube, the log entry releases for this too. Just another way that you can join me on these little adventures and everything. So if you want to check that out, go there, check it out. But I like to, every now and again, little pictures of the trip and stuff like that I'll post in there too. So, but yeah, check that out if you want. Well guys, as you can see behind me, everything's all cleaned up. I went ahead and packed up. I got to looking at the weather again, and It looks like the storms have shifted. They're headed this way. They're pretty good storms and everything. And I know I planned on, it storming and everything. But in all honesty, if I could get everything put away and packed up before it got soaking wet, that's all the more better. There ain't nothing worse than having to go home, lay everything out, let it dry, and then put it away. So you got to put things away twice. And, it is what it is. Comes with the territory. But if I can get away from that step, I definitely will. But, yeah. If you made it all the way to the end of this adventure, I greatly appreciate it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit the bell for notifications so that way you know whenever we upload every video. If you want to dig a little deeper into this little adventure, make sure you go to www.commonfamilysurvival.com. Check out my adventure journal posts. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.